I'm in electricity. I'm in outer space. I'm in a blue. Oh, it's a Chevy. That would have worked a lot better if the door had stayed open. Let's try that again. And a fireman. Or is that a policeman? Oh, he's got a gun. I think it's a policeman. I'm just gonna get a picture with the anthropomorphic hamster, or gerbil? Hamster? Gerbil? Hamster? Okay, there we go. It's on YouTube now. Hold on. This one has a mohawk. This one has a mohawk. That's the hamster I want to ride with. Kia. Hamster selfies at the Atlanta Auto Show. It's happening. Hello. Yeah. Auto show attendees. Hey, how's it going? There we go. New car shopping?
No.
Oh, just admiring, right? What's up, YouTube? Jax here at the Atlanta Auto Show, which you can see behind me. Hanging out. I got to go to the media day. I posted a bunch of that on my Instagram, which is the same as my YouTube channel. You can check it out here. That's the channel of my Instagram, which is the same as my YouTube channel, which you already know because you're here. So let's take a walk around and look at some of the cars I was introduced to this morning at the media event. Some of the concept cars, and then some of the normal cars, maybe even some of the family cars. And we'll see what's what. We'll see what's good, we'll see what's bad, and we'll see what's just plain sad. One car I was interested in seeing was the Chevy Bolt. You can see it there behind me, or at least I think you can. I'm trying to look into a camera and the phone at the same time. The Chevy Bolt is the new all-electric 240 plus mile range EV from Chevrolet. So I want to go see if I can fit in it and what it's like. This is the interior of the Chevy Bolt. Sorry, easy to confuse them. This is the interior of the Chevy Bolt. Of course, all the electronics are off because they don't want it to run out of battery, I guess. Doesn't seem to make sense. It's a nice place to be. It's roomy. I don't know if you can see my legs. I'm 6.5 feet tall. I got plenty of space. Now, at 6.5 feet tall, I got plenty of space in here in the front. Behind me, maybe. I don't know. I could fit my kids, but it's pretty spacious. Not a bad place to be. Interior materials are okay, but you know, what do you expect? It's not a Lexus or a Mercedes or a nice Honda. Overall, if the Bolt does what it says it can do, it's going to sell well, but don't think of it as anything more than basic transportation. As long as you think of it that way, you won't be disappointed, but the fact that it can drive all around Metro Atlanta without needing to recharge is pretty impressive. Behind me is the new Chevy Equinox, which is a car that I probably won't buy. No offense, I just don't really need an Equinox in my life. I really badly want that Corvette. Maybe not in Grand Sport livery, but I want a Grand Sport. This is how I need to spec out my Suburban. Triple black on knobby tires with metal running boards. Yes. If you're a mildly amusing secretary or front desk clerk who gets sassy with people when they walk in the building, then boy do I have the car for you. The Buick Cascada. I always feel like GMCs are for people who were thinking about buying a Chevy but then decided they wanted to overpay by a few $1,000s. I like Cadillac. I want to love Cadillac, but the XT5 doesn't do it for me, so I think I'm gonna go look at some CTSs and CT6s or CT5s or whatever they're called now. I'm not really sure, but I'm gonna go look at the sedans because they're better. It's impossible not to love the Escalade, and if I have to explain to you why, then you probably just don't get it, or you'd prefer like a Lincoln or something. Maybe I'm in the minority, but I don't understand why people think these are necessarily better looking than these. I think the CT6 has some presence. Come on, Cadillac, we can't do better than this pop-up wind blocker. I mean, that's hideous. I don't even know what that is. Choices. ATS-V or CTS-V? ATS-V or CTS-V? I'm just kidding, that's not a choice. CTS-V every time because V8. I still think this is the king of the super sedans right here. CTS-V. Oh yeah, this feels all kinds of right in the CTS-V. If only they made a wagon. Ugh, even on the CTS-V we get this pop-up wind blocker. Enough already, Cadillac. Carbon on the outside looks good, but I'm not always a fan of it here on the inside. And this carbon feels like a Tonka truck, so no thanks. But I will be having all the suede. I'll be keeping that, yes please. I want the suede, especially when it's in focus. So we had to say goodbye to the CTS wagon, but Mercedes is keeping the torch alive. Also, can we just point out that I don't think anyone does matte finish paint better than Mercedes right now? I mean, seriously, look at that. That is awesome. We'll call this Mercedes-Benz appropriately sized, even for me. If you're as tall as me and you need a Mercedes-Benz, this would be the one that you need to get, the giant G-Wagon. If you were to ask me, Jax, what kind of car can you not stand? What kind of car drives you crazy these days? I would say without a doubt it's this, the SUV coupe craze. I can't stand it. It's the stupidest thing on the road. If you've been dying for a car that has all of the practicality of a smart car with no real off-road ability and no cargo space, Mercedes has a car for you. The interior is gorgeous, I'll give you that, but the back seat is for hobbits or people with no knees. Have you ever wondered what you could do with that extra $300,000 that you have lying around? Perhaps you'd like a Mercedes convertible. This is the Mercedes Maybach S650 Coupe Convertible Cabriolet. It's one of 75 in the United States, and it costs somewhere around $300,000. And it looks the absolute business. I thought Rolls-Royce had the market cornered on awesome rear decks. Mercedes would like to counter that argument. With 37-inch wheels, maybe. Now, in the world of gorgeous cars with performance credentials, the AMG GTC convertible would be near the top. I mean, just look at this thing. I think I would take this over a 911 every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Can we just pause for a second and talk about how Kia is absolutely crushing it? I mean, seriously. I'm about to go look at the Kia Stinger, which if you know anything about cars or watch the Detroit Auto Show, you know what that is. But Kia is absolutely killing it. Their cars are gorgeous, the interiors are amazing, and the Stinger looks awesome. Have you ever wanted a car that looked like it exploded every time you got out of it? This is Kia's new hybrid, the Niro. You might notice something about it. It looks pretty good compared to the Toyota Prius right here. And now look at the Niro right here. And now the Prius. And now the Niro. Yeah, take your pick. All right, behind me is the Kia Stinger. I think it's twin turbo V6 powered concept car from the Detroit Auto Show that blew everybody away because Chevy decided to get rid of the SS. Well done, Chevy. The Stinger looks great. It's awesome, and if it performs half as well as they say it will, it's gonna be great. I already said great. It's gonna be fantastic. Fantastic's better than great, I think, if you're gonna rank them on a hierarchy. And because we're at an auto show, we have to have cool graphics and forest scenes and driving cars, but just focusing on the Stinger for a second. Focusing on the Stinger. One of the best angles of this car is the rear 3/4 right here. Yes. Awesome. This is the Kia Walking Dead. Guess what? This is the interior of a Kia. No auto show would be complete without a handful of exotics. Got some more over there, plus a Rolls-Royce Phantom, plus the Ferrari I bought for my wife to apologize for cheating with the nanny, California. This is pretty much exactly how I would spec out my McLaren 570S. And I also have an irrational love developing for the Lotus Evora, especially the new 400 Sport model. Hey look, a Rolls-Royce Phantom and the Flying Lady has been pulled inside because dishonesty. Can we just pause for a second and examine how good looking this car is? From just about every angle, the Q60 is fairly stunning. It's just too bad the Infiniti area is empty. Yeah, Infiniti seems to have a bit of an identity crisis because you see behind me, there is not a lot going on in the Infiniti section, probably because everybody's thinking, I should have bought a BMW, even though they're not at the show. Nissan is currently making some of the worst looking cars on the market. Sentra, Versa, and Versa hatchback note thing. 17,000? Are you kidding me? Is that in pennies? RF Club Sport, and it looks awesome. It looks even awesomer from this angle. Mazda might be my favorite overall company right now. All of their cars look fantastic, are wonderful to drive, and what else do you need? Mazda can make a small SUV that looks this good. Just take that in for a second. I know minivans aren't terribly interesting, but this is the Pacifica Hybrid, a hybrid minivan. I think if Chrysler is going to stake their claim again in the minivan segment, this is the way to go. It goes up to like 30 miles on electric power. Nobody else is doing that right now. This might be the way forward for them. Look, can we replace the Charger and the Challenger already? They are ancient. The bones of them date all the way back to the E-Class like 2 generations ago. I think it's time to put these cars out to pasture. They're like that old guy that tries to do hip, cool things and everybody sees right through him. You know, like a 37-year-old man who still makes YouTube videos. Here's the Fiat 124 Spider Abarth, which I have to say looks better in person than it does in the magazines. I've been seeing it in the magazines and I honestly thought the Miata looks better, but seeing this in person now, this is not a bad looking car at all. Oh my God, I don't care how often they break down. Just look at them. Oh, I want an Alfa, and not because of Top Gear. Well, that's part of it, but not just because of it. Just look at that car and the Giulia. The Giulia Quadrifoglio, which this is not. This is a regular Giulia. And I wish I could sit in it, but they're probably afraid the door will fall off or something. This looks absolutely fantastic in gunmetal gray. Symbol of quality and reliability. Or not.
In short, ladies and gentlemen, the all-new Alfa Romeo Giulia encapsulates the 3 core values of Alfa Romeo's proud 105-year-old history.
This color looks good on Porsche 911s and Jeep Wranglers. This is the new Toyota Camry. It's better looking, but that's like saying the latest model of LG or Samsung dishwasher is better looking than the one that it replaces. I don't expect it to dethrone the Mazda 6 as the king of the midsize sedans. Is it just me, or does that look the opposite of safe? Putting your crash test dummy in a post-death mortem sort of pose. This is an unusual Toyota bass fishing model, but I don't think it'll be very helpful on your daily commute. This is the new Toyota CHR, which is invading the rapidly crowded tiny SUV segment. And it's probably one of the more interesting looking ones. I mean, as compared to the Nissan Juke, which is not the most attractive car. They say it was tuned on the Nürburgring. I'm not sure what that means, but to me, tuning a car like this on the Nürburgring is like driving a Lamborghini to work. I'm not quite sure what the point is. However, if it's previewing Toyota's future styling, I think that's a good thing because it looks a little more restrained. And everybody likes to talk about the giant Lexus grille, but you know what? If you get over that, the rest of the new LS is pretty good looking car, especially the interior. Let's see if we can get a shot of that. Check out that chocolate and cream interior. That is absolutely fantastic. You know what? I could get over the spindle grille to drive around in a car that looks like that on the inside. The Lexus LC 500 Hybrid. Actually, I don't even know if that's an LC 500 because it's the hybrid model. But who cares? It's gorgeous. That's right, it's the LC 500H. We gotta look through the window here, but that is one heck of an interior. Well, disaster nearly averted. My battery was about to die. Luckily, Honda had chargers because my charge cord decided not to work. So let's get back to it with... That's a bit much. This new Elantra is good looking and it makes me think about turning it into that Elantra. I really like this actually. I don't know why, but the sort of matte paint with the fender flares on a little Elantra looks good. I'm not kidding. This car looks sweet when you have a hood exhaust. So the new Ioniq gives you all 3 versions, electric hybrid, a plug-in hybrid, and it looks pretty good on top of it. I'd say that's a win. win. I'm not sure if any other brand duo is crushing it as much as Hyundai Kia right now, and that's a good thing because it puts all the other automakers on notice and makes them try harder. Oh, Acura, I want to love you, but it's very hard to want to buy you when the Hyundai is better looking. Hyundai, Acura, Hyundai. Of course, though, the best thing about the Acura stand is this NSX GT, which is just absolute fire. All the wings with this car. Oh yes. Take a good look. This Audi looks like this Audi, which looks like this Audi, which looks like those two Audis. None of them look like that Audi. Yes. All these years later, and the same basic design of the R8 is still one of the best looking supercars on the market. And that interior. This is the S5, the brand new one. And just look at this place. It is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I mean, it's worth getting the car just for the virtual gauge cluster. This is Volkswagen's new giant SUV called the Atlas. It's a big SUV, and I don't really, oh my God, is that an old FJ? Whoa, way cooler in every respect. I was gonna stop in at Subaru back there, but the vape station was all full, so I'm just kidding, they don't have a vape station. But they do let you vape in the cars. There aren't many things sadder than endangered polar bears or people who have to work the Mitsubishi stand. Look, she's waving. Hi, save me, deliver me from this place. I'm gonna go on the record right now and say I'm a fan of the Genesis design language. I really like it, and I hope if they keep it up, they're gonna make a lot of really cool luxury car competitors for people like Lexus and maybe even BMW and Mercedes, we'll see. But I dig the styling. Genesis, appropriately dignified. All right, here's a big test. I am not a fan of Lincoln or Ford, but this Continental intrigues me. I made a lot of fun of it on paper, but let's take a look inside. All right, let's do that take again. I had to turn the radio down so I don't get a copyright strike. Credit where credit is due, this is a nice interior. I am being slowly massaged by the seat. The infotainment looks slick, the wood looks real, and the leather is awesome. So that leads me to believe that the Lincoln Continental is fantastic on the inside, but I still don't love it on the outside. Maybe it would drive better. Hello, Lincoln, are you listening? Let me drive one. First off, I don't like the styling. It looks boring, derivative, and the door handles on the beltline don't really do it for me. Okay, I'm in Ford, and I like to make fun of Ford, and I like to say the Mustangs drive into crowds, but let's give it a fair chance and look at some of these cars. Starting with this new Expedition behind me, which looks pretty good to be honest. It's huge. Would it make me forget my Suburban? I don't know, I love that car, but it certainly looks good. If you want to see some shots of the interior instrument pod, check out my Instagram. I was here for the media launch. It's all locked up now, but you can check Instagram to see the inside. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I had you confused for someone else. All right, we're gonna wrap it up with this. The Ford Focus RS, which I don't care what anybody says, that car is awesome. Looks great, it's a great hot hatch. I would absolutely drive one in exactly that color. So that's about it for the auto show. I'm gonna be heading out those doors in about 2 seconds. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you found some of this informative. I'll give you one more spin of the show floor. This is Jax from Atlanta International Auto Show. It's almost as big as Detroit, not quite, Paris or Geneva or LA or the New York Auto Show or like Tucson, Arizona or Scranton, Ohio, or Kennebunkport, man, I'm just naming towns at this point that I know. I'll catch you guys later. This is Jax. Peace.